Project 2025? Well, if you watch Occupy Democrats, you know all about it. But today, that bulb of recognition of its impact, it shines most brightly on CNN Newsnight as the panel exposes the wheels already in motion underneath a juggernaut of social engineering horror that history will not fondly remember as Project 2025. Now, as the country tries to wrap its collective head around a form of policy and governance so radically different from what we have ever known, well, its champions are selling it to us like it's no big deal. A positive fait accompli. A necessary adjustment to the standard operating procedure. A tweak, if you will, to the rusty machinations of a broken system. Well, that's a system that has been the safety net and operative schematic for a functioning democracy for lo these many years, much to the benefit of the majority who needs it and to the annoyance of the privileged few. Well, that's the problem now we must solve according to Project 2025 and its most ardent supporters, who are now mere seconds away from the irreversible hour that they expect to enact just that. Now, the clip we're about to run from CNN, it's a great assessment and a distillation of all the buzz going on all over mainstream and social media about the destruction of democracy that Project 2025 promises. Well, here's a taste of that.
Do away with federal interest in having a diverse workplace?
Yeah, I mean, it was a part of Project 2025. And as we know, at least two of the people that Trump has currently selected to be in his administration, they are authors of Project 2025. So as many times as y'all yelled, I yelled that Project 2025 is his only plan, because he said, no, I know nothing about it and it's not my plan, people just believed him. Well, we see how that is playing out.
Why it's so important to focus on OMB and Russell Vought is, first and foremost, this gentleman literally was the architect of Project 2025. And not only did he write the chapter for the OMB for Project 2025, it is our understanding that he was the brains behind the operation and helped to bring together the vast Trump loyalists and conservative community to put that document together. Now, when I read that document, Project 2025, it reads as a transition document. And as a former OMB employee, that is clearly what it is. And so Donald Trump spent months trying to distance himself from Project 2025 on the campaign trail. But with this nomination, it's very clear that not only was he not aware of it and had never read it and didn't know what it was, literally the architect of it is coming in one of the most powerful positions in the White House to remake the federal government.
Bravo to Representative Melanie Stansbury on X and Representative Jasmine Crockett over on MSNBC as they echo the knell as well. So now let's see how these growing concerns were addressed by the likes of Mike Broomhead and David Urban when they joined Amy Phillip just hours ago on CNN.
One quick thing. I want to make sure we get this in, because another big appointment that Trump made today was the director of the Office of Management and Budget, which nobody knows about except that it's extremely important. And the guy who's running it is named Russ Vought. He's done that job before. More importantly, he is the architect of Project 2025. I'm sure, Mike, you remember, they've been telling us that Project 2025 is not a thing. I mean, can we say now that that wasn't true?
No, I don't know why we would say it wasn't true. If the president-elect has said it's not going to be a part of my administration,
he is bringing the guy who created it.
But that doesn't mean he's going to allow that person to implement
into the role that would be responsible for implementing how the White House's policy trickles down to the rest of the entire
But
government.
that doesn't mean that he's going to allow that person to implement that strategy. He has said before, and he was very clear, I don't know anything about it, I have nothing to do with it. So to jump to the conclusion that he put this guy there maybe for the reasons he thinks he's best for the job doesn't mean that he's secretly now, because it's never going to be a secret if he does, implement 2025.
I don't think it's a secret.
Russ Vought is one of the most talented public servants you're going to find around. He knows every button, every lever. He's going to be a success at OMB. And just because he believes in certain core principles of the Republican Party, smaller government, right? Everybody in the Republican platform for the president, you can go back I don't know how far, wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Ronald Reagan did, wants to shrink the workforce. Shouldn't the President of the United States have a workforce that wants to do the same thing he does? Isn't that what democracy is about?
Look, I think that's all good and well. I'm just saying the idea that it's some kind of a terrible lie that but Project 2025 was a blueprint for what the second Trump term would look like. That's not true.
No, there are certain pieces of Project 2025 which will be implemented for sure, 100%. But it's not the president didn't take the booklet, tuck it under his arm, and go scamper down to Mar-a-Lago. It is not true. I talked to the president directly about this topic, and he said never seen it, never read it. 100%.
All right. Well, we shall see. It'll be interesting what it takes for people to believe that Project 2025 is actually part of the plan here.
Oh, thank you so much for Trump-splaining that whole Project 2025 thing. So he won't tuck it under his arm, right? And he won't scamper down a Mar-a-Lago. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. Okay, then. Our bad. Hey, back to football.